in sight of a rare semi-final.
As far back as I can remember, I'm hitting frees really, you know, since I was 9 or 10 years of age. I think your manager just picks a free taker when you're younger, and you know, it sort of sticks with you. If you're scoring them, you might get keeping the job. If not, you lose it. You'll always work on it, and you'll always practice, you know, before training, after training. You'll always try and get a bit of kicking in. I suppose that's what free taking's all about. It's just practice, 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 and trying a repetition in your routine and everything else, and trying to get that consistency into it. It's something you only enjoy if you're scoring them. It's not too much fun if you're missing them.
McManus with a brilliant free. You could see the way that hung up there. He's got 5 points now.
McManus is one of the most reliable place kickers in the business at the moment.
It's curling, it's curling. Oh my word, what about that? It started off going around perhaps by Clontippert, but it turned in and it landed in Clonus.
My God, it was a beautifully flighted score. Lovely technique.
If you get too hung up on technique and you know, routines and things like that there, you start tying yourself up in knots. You know, it has to just try and let it flow. The biggest thing is you're not really thinking about it, you know, and I suppose if you were to start thinking about it, maybe you would panic a bit, but you're in the moment and you're concentrating on the kick rather than anything else.
Here comes McManus, here comes the captain.
Most of the time I would hit them out of my hands. If it's a case that you're shooting into a breeze or, you know, the wind swirling or that there, I would hit them off the ground, but generally I would hit them out of my hand because that's what I'm comfortable with, and that's what I've been doing, you know, this 10, 12, 15 years. Whenever I was younger, it was the dawn of the Ulster teams back at the early 90s, you know. You had boys like Anthony Tohill from Derry, who was a great free taker, and you had Peter Canavan as somebody that I would have always looked up to when I was younger, and he was always the free taker. He hit them from the ground and from his hands, so you know, you'd have always studied boys like that, you know.
Here's their captain, Conor McManus.
It's a hugely proud footballing county, you know, Monaghan. Over the last 20, 25 years, it's probably been, you know, starved of success. So it's great to see the fans and the people of Monaghan having something to shout about again, you know.
Great harassment by Ryan Wiley.
It's a team game, and you know, I think you've seen from any of our games this year that, you know, it's very much a team focus on the way we play.
10 out of 10 to Monaghan for sheer intensity, and it's rewarded with a brilliant point by Conor McManus.
You know, we've been in the last 2 All-Ireland quarter-finals and we've come up short in both of them. So from our point of view, you know, we're definitely not getting carried away. We know how hard it is when you go to Croke Park to compete and to win these games. Coming down here, you know, on days when you have a bag of balls and there's nobody around, you just kick away, and if you kick one wide, there's only one person looking at you, you know. I suppose it goes back to, you know, the practice and the routine and things like that there. Once you lock yourself into that mode, you're not really thinking of where you are or you know, the circumstances. You're focusing on getting a good strike on the ball, and you know, that's really all you're focused on.
Back.
I made my debut in Championship against Kevin in 1994 and played right through with the county to 2004, 2005, so it was about 11 years all in. There was probably a couple of different standout moments. There's the All-Ireland B. I remember it was a great day, the weather was really bad, we played Fermanagh, it was a scrappy game. I remember Joe Quinn scoring a great goal, which I wind you up about and take credit for from time to time. But I remember just that feeling of elation of achieving something, and it just gave us great hope and belief going into the Championship of 2000.
And here comes the 45, just lobbed in. It's punched away, back to Walsh, and it's all over. Antrim have done it. For the first time in 18 years, they are victorious in the Ulster Football Championship.
Now, for a lot of people, that wouldn't be the highlight of their county career, you know, maybe an Ulster Championship or an All-Ireland. But when you're not winning a championship game for that period of time, and you've been on the panel 6 or 7 years yourself and you haven't won a game, and then all of a sudden to do that, and then you look 7, 8, 9, 10 years later and the county are in an Ulster final, it was just good to be part of that squad who made that first step.
Hailstones now pelting Casement Park. Anto Finnegan, the Antrim captain.
For anybody that doesn't know, MND is a progressive condition, so it affects about 2 in 100,000 people, so it's classed as a rare disease. So for me, you know, it started in my arms to the point where, you know, my arms are quite difficult just to even manoeuvre now, and just a real battle with fatigue and, you know, being able to walk any great distance as well. And that's really where I am at this point in time with the condition. My wife and I established the Determined Trust.
Go!
We wanted to do something that would really bring MND to the fore in people's minds.
An historic occasion tonight at Kingspan Stadium in Belfast. Tonight, an all-star cast from north and south meet in a game for Antrim.
And away we go as history is made at Kingspan Stadium in Ravenhill.
It just works so well with about nearly 7,000 spectators at the game. We raised 75 to 80,000 pounds for MND, and the awareness that we got out of it was just phenomenal in the build-up to the game, during the game and after the game. It's that GAA community thing. If one of their own needs help and support, they are there 100%, and they've shown that not just with my condition but with other players who have been through the mill, you know, in the past as well. The condition has happened to me, but the disability has happened to our family. It affects everyone in the house. So when you see someone who's prepared to roll up their sleeves and fight the fight against MND, it's, you know, it's fantastic.
Many of Waterford's babes are too young to taste the delights of full-time employment. Dara Fives wants his summers off. Shane prefers to give it welly.
We used to work every weekend. We grew up with it, you know the pig farm inside and out. Like. It was our summer jobs really. Weekends and summers we spend here helping out. We were always involved. Come on, girl, come on. Dad started roughly, I'd say around 22, 23 years ago. He started with 3 or 4 sows, and it's where we are today now, 20 years on. If you asked me 5 years ago, I would have said no way, pigs is not the way I want to go. I went to WIT and I studied sports and recreation for 4 years, and I got my degree there. I took a year out, to be honest. I did a bit of travelling and I came back, and Dad said, right, what do you want to do? And I said, look, I'm going to give pig farming a shot, and I haven't looked back since, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. I suppose the early mornings of that don't suit me. And no, I'm going to teaching route now, so look, I know pig farming is for me, but I'll always have a hand in it. I think like I'll help out whenever I'm needed or anything. But I have a routine every week. I have an early start, all right, but the thing about pig farming, you can actually work your day in around it to get your recovery right and diet and all that. You can work around pig farming.
Jamie Nagle. Precise, short turning from Waterford now. The distance put on by Dara Fives, looking for the point, and he's got it. Brilliant score from Dara Fives.
My first year in 2011, I had a great year. We got to an Ireland semi-final against Kilkenny, actually. And since then, it's been a tough road now. I've struggled with injuries now, hamstring injuries. But in the last few months now, I'm after getting a good training on my belt, and it seems to be working now, and hopefully it'll continue for the rest of the season. I was actually there a long time before Dara. I was there since 2008, but I struggled to make the breakthrough into the team. He came along in his first year and jumped straight into the team, so that was kind of hard to watch, even though I was happy with him.
Here comes Dara. Shane Fives. Shane. Dara is the brother. Shane is the number 2. And Shane Fives, incredibly, gets his second point of the match.
It's great to win with your brother, and I think there's 4 or 5 sets of brothers on the team, like, so you know you're close, and I think that in the team we're very united anyway. So it's great if you're winning with your brother. So there's no better feeling like.
From way out the field, my word, what a score!
I think we drive each other on in that way. Like if fellas have bad days or anything, like, you know, we're there to supporting each other.
So yeah, we could be competing for places down the line, but so far he's out in the wing and I'm in the corner, so we're happy enough that way. We're delighted to be in Croke Park in All-Ireland semi-final against Kilkenny. This is the days you dream of when you're younger. So we just go out and try and do our best and see what comes out.
Kilkenny are a serious outfit, so we're going to be on top of our game to compete with them, but we're just hoping now to put in a performance on Sunday and, please God, it'll be enough. I think everyone is getting behind the team again, which is great to see, and hopefully, we can do it and just be a massive boost to the county, and everyone involved, really.
We're a young team, there's no doubt of that, but these young fellas are experienced young fellas. A lot of these young fellas played All-Ireland minor in Croke Park, so they have no fear of a big day like that. They relish big days like this.
So when did the dual player tag become awkward? Long after Keith Higgins picked up a hurl.
Born and bred in Ballyhonus, this is where it all started, I suppose. The earliest memory would have been playing under 8s, under 10 football and hurling, so this is kind of where it all started, down the bottom pitch there, and been at it ever since, I suppose. Growing up, we would have been going to go up to Croke Park to watch the Galway hurlers, really, because the father was from Galway. I suppose that's probably where the love of hurling came from.
Good, and again, after hurling, well done.
Well, my two sons, Pearse and Keith, in 1987 when Galway beat Kilkenny in the All-Ireland, I think for the first time ever, Keith was just 2 years of age, and Pearse was around 9 at that time. And he and a couple of neighbours started playing hurling, and a few more then got interested. And then when we started at underage, they were the nucleus of the underage hurling team. It's been an outstanding 25 years. We started at underage in 1988 and worked our way then up along. And we won our first junior title in 1999, but the first senior, which is the one we judge our ability by, was won in 2002. So we've won 10 in the last 13 years.
I think I was only 17, we won the first one back in 2002. So it's been nice to be involved in all of them. But I suppose it's, as long as we can keep a few lads coming through every year just to freshen up the team, really. I suppose we can't be relying on the same old fellas all the time.
Come back to me afterwards and I'll give them back to you. I'll mind them, one in each pocket, OK?
At our peak, we were doing very, very well. Would have maybe at underage level up to maybe 80 or 90 kids under 14. But I suppose for the last 4 or 5 years, numbers have dropped back a little bit. We haven't been able to field underage teams, but we're starting back up here, and you'll see here we're playing under 8 and under 10. And for my troubles, I'm looking after the under 5s, 3, 4 and 5 year olds. And they're the best of the lot.
Opportunist ball inside here. And here's an opportunity, and that is Keith Higgins.
We've been playing the two of them from an early age, but the hurling just seemed to come a bit more easier. I suppose the football probably wouldn't really have kind of blossomed, I suppose, up to maybe under 16 or minor. So yeah, it was kind of, hurling was always the one that seemed to be a bit more fun when I was growing up. I suppose definitely as a footballer, probably speed comes into it, especially when you're in corner back. You kind of, if you're marking lively corner forwards all the time, you have to have a bit of speed about you. In the hurling, I don't know, the skill would probably be the best part in play hurling-wise, I suppose. Mayo hurling the last few years has probably struggled a small bit. Going back to maybe 2008, 2009, we would have got to Christy Ring semi-finals and pushed very hard in them. This year was a real struggle. Got kind of relegated out of the Christy Ring, which is a big blow, really. It's probably been coming a couple of years, really, been struggling underage and that kind of stuff, so it's just trying to get the players coming through. They're just not there at the moment, so hopefully we can rebuild in the next few years.
Once the football is over, he'll be back. Hopefully, if we're still in the championship, he will be back for the final, if we get that far. He'd better be.
All set for a weekend purring with promise. Vincent Hogan has taken his seat early.
This is a huge game from